What's going on, Pocket Theory? It's your main man, Suds, coming to you from the Tinker Closet here in my home in Austin, Texas. It is November. The holidays are right around the corner. I have some really cool holiday content coming up for you guys. I hope you're excited. Do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. It helps with the algorithm. What are we talking about today? We're talking about a kit that I very recently put together, my Leatherman Wave Go Pack. Look at the beauty of this Go Pack. I was originally calling this a pocket pack, but the truth is I'm never going to carry something this heavy or bulky in my pocket, so I'm now calling it a Go Pack. I'm going to show you each piece of this kit individually here in a moment, but I kind of wanted to talk about EDC Multi-Tools in general. I have a small collection, as you can see, of Leatherman Multi-Tools. In fact, my favorite is the Leatherman Style PS. I carry one of these on my keychain every day. Technically it's a TSA friendly tool. It's got scissors and a pair of pliers on it. This is my favorite EDC multi-tool. In fact, I like it so much I have two on backup just in case anything ever happens with this one. I also have a Leatherman Style CS. This lives full-time in my Daywalker kit. If you saw that video, you'll have seen this already. Instead of the pliers, it has the scissors on the inside, and it does also have a backup knife here. This is another fantastic multi-tool. I really like this guy. I am also a big fan of the Leatherman Squirt and the Micra. I have a couple of squirts that live in a few of my micro kits, and of course my Micra lives full-time in my macro Guyver. The Micra is just a great collapsible pair of scissors, and it comes with a couple other tools on here that make it a really great addition to any kit. The Squirt is another great tool. It's got a nice pair of pliers on it and a nice set of tools. This is a wonderful addition to a micro kit. Now, as far as everyday carry is concerned, I actually prefer to carry a SOG PowerPint in my EDC kits. For me, it's the right size and weight. It comes with this amazing set of pliers. I mean, these pliers are much more substantial than anything you're going to find on the Leatherman PS or the Leatherman Squirt. The other thing that makes the SOG PowerPint so great is it has a bit driver built into the end. So anybody who has a PowerPint already knows you can just install a bit in it. When you have a Steinwhale Bit Set, you can use the Bit Extender, and that gives you 16 bits. So like the combination of the SOG PowerPint and the Steinwhale Bit Set, this is actually my preferred EDC multi-tool setup right now. This combination makes it into a lot of different kits. It's great as a grab-and-go option. And the SOG PowerPint is actually lightweight enough that you can stick it in your pocket and use it with a clip. When it comes to full-size Leatherman multi-tools, I actually acquired this Leatherman Wingman about 14 years ago at this point. It's the only full-size Leatherman multi-tool that I've ever owned. It's quite frankly the only full-size one that I've ever needed. I'm kind of a tinker guy. I tackle small projects. I'm not going to help you fix your car engine, but I might help you install a car stereo, if that makes any sense. Some of the things I love about the Wingman is the spring-loaded pliers. It's great when you're using it one-handed, and I also love the fact that you can deploy the knife one-handed. And because I've been so happy with the Leatherman Wingman, I never really dropped the hammer on a second full-size Leatherman. If I had no interest in going down the rabbit hole specifically of the Leatherman proprietary bit set, so upgrading to a full-size Leatherman with one of the flat bit drivers was not something I felt the pressure to participate in until I found this Leatherman Wave at the Texas State Surplus Store. If you watched that video last month, you'll recall that I scored a like-new Leatherman Wave Plus with a very nice American Benchcraft leather box sheath for a rock-bottom price of $30. If you understand, that's a $120 multi-tool and a $50 sheath, so it's $170 worth of high-quality gear for $30. That's an 82% discount. I don't know if I'm even able to articulate how much I love finding deals like that. I think my other bargain hunters are going to understand. It's just electrifying, especially when you don't have a huge budget to begin with. It makes hunting for a bargain all that much more satisfying, and satisfaction, as we know, is one of the great joys in life. But let's get back to the subject, the Leatherman Wave. I heard about it on the radio. I saw it on the TV. It's one of the highest reviewed, best-selling multi-tools in Leatherman history, and you know what? I never even bothered to examine one before. I never held one in my hands before. I had my Wingman. I was too busy collecting pens and knives and flashlights and shit. I was completely neglecting my multi-tools. And I was so ignorant that I didn't even realize what I was missing until that fateful day at the Texas State Surplus Store. Pocket Theory, I'm happy to report the very second that I held this Leatherman Wave Plus in my hands for the first time, I was sold. This is a pretty great multi-tool. I mean, you can see the look on my face in the video if you watch. There'll be a link in the description. It was like heaven. This tool, it definitely lives up to the hype and then some. I'm assuming most of you are already aware of the Leatherman Wave Plus, even if you don't own one. It's a very talked about multi-tool. The pliers are just much more substantial, and they've also got the wire cutters up here. I'm not going to go through the full tool set. You guys know what comes on the Leatherman Wave Plus. One of the things I love about the Wave Plus, like the Wingman, you can deploy the knife without having to open up the tool. I'm going to put it back into the sheath for a second, and then we're going to get into the contents of this Go kit. One of the first things that I'll point out about the way that this Go pack is assembled is that it stands up on its end because of the way that the gear is assembled. And it also lays down flat on its back, so you can do either option. Leatherman does make their own branded sheaths that have like gear slots on the side for you to insert stuff. This is a Grimm Workshop Bandit that has just been wrapped around this American Benchcraft leather sheath. And the only thing that I really did in addition to that was I added this little panel of loop at the top so that I could use a bit set that has some hook on the back and secure it in there. And the added bonus here is that it keeps this from slipping up any further, so I can sit the pack down on this and it stands up on its end. So you want to jump into the contents of the Go pack. It's actually very simple. The first thing I'll pull out is the Leatherman Bit Extender. This works with the bit driver that's in the Wave. Now, the bit that I have loaded in here already is the glass breaker bit. You can get this from Leatherman. It comes with a little flathead on the other side, but the reason that I keep this in here full time is because I figure I'll never need to screw anything in an emergency, but I might need to break some glass in an emergency, so that bit lives in here full time. The bit that Wave comes with is just another Phillips head and flathead bit. That lives over here. I'll get to that in a second, but I keep the glass breaker bit in there full time. The bit extender fits inside here, and now you've got a little screwdriver. You guys all know how that works. And the bit that I keep in here full time is just a WIHA Phillips head number 2 bit. I do have this little Allen wrench included in the kit. If I want to make any adjustments to the tool itself, I have that Allen wrench available. And then I do have this backup bit. It's just a double-sided bit from Leatherman. It's one of their flat bits. It's a flathead on one side and a Phillips head on the other side. Next up over here, I have this 711L or 711L flathead ratcheting wrench that also fits into the bit driver on the Leatherman Wave. So now you've got a ratcheting bit driver. It works with standard 1/4" hex bits. This is a really, really cool little tool. I saw this on Earthling EDC. Thanks for that hot tip, Earthling EDC. We'll snap that back down. As you can see, the Grimm Workshop Bandit works. I do have a single nail. I include one of these in a lot of my kits. They come in very handy. I mentioned I have the loop tape. I just used some hook tape to secure some more WIHA bits on the back. The WIHA bits work with the ratcheting bit driver and the bit extender. And I have these two items that I got from a guy on Etsy, Jordan Engineering. These are little handles for the bit driver. So check this out. You just slip it in there like that, and now you've got a functional screwdriver, and it even has a rotating end so you can screw independently. You can kind of bear down and get that screw action. And then this guy also works so you can slip that in. Now you got a ratcheting thing. So this actually forms two little tools with the bit extender and the ratcheting driver. And of course, you've got your Leatherman Wave. As you can see, all of these items work together pretty well. This is obviously not supposed to meet every single need. This is something that you want to grab and take with you on a road trip or throw into your glove compartment. In fact, I think that's where this is going to live. I think that this is going to end up living in my glove box full time. So I'm pretty excited about this kit. Yes, I am aware that Leatherman does sell a fancy ratcheting bit driver. Eventually, I'd like to get my hands on one of them to test it out and see if it lives up to the hype, but they are never in stock, like ever. So I don't know if that day will ever materialize, that I'll ever be able to own one. Pocket Theory, if anybody out there has an extra Leatherman ratcheting bit driver that they want to donate to the cause or sell me cheaply, call me. So anybody out there that is still not convinced that this is a great multi-tool, I mean, don't take my word for it. Try to find one if you can and play with it for an hour. I mean, I can pretty much guarantee that even if you don't fall in love with it, you're going to like it at the very least. I wouldn't steer you wrong on this. Is the Leatherman Wave worth $120 brand new? I mean, it depends on you and your budget. I was always very content with my Wingman, and these cost $70. So, you know, had I not found this guy at the surplus store for $30, we might not even be having this video right now. So the biggest difference on the Wave Plus is obviously the bit driver. It does make a difference. So anybody else who is also not convinced that it's worth getting involved in the Leatherman proprietary flat bit ecosystem, I'm actually 100% with you on that. I have no current plans to invest in the Leatherman flat bit set. I think they look very cool. The flat bit concept is very interesting. I like the custom storage options that they offer, but I'm just not biting. For me personally, I don't actually need a full comprehensive bit set. The ones that I carry are more than enough usually, so I'm happy with where I'm at right now. I did buy the glass breaker insert bit from Leatherman. I thought it was a pretty great idea. I bought it at the same time that I bought the bit extender. I had a 30% off coupon, so it all worked out pretty well. Other than that, I can't see purchasing the full-size bit set anytime soon. I have too many buddies who have snapped those flat bits, and with the bit extender that accepts normal 1/4-inch hex bits, I'm just going to keep using my WIHA bits for the time being. I think that's good. I've been pretty happy with this pack sitting on my desk for the past few weeks, but truth be told, I have all the same options, only better, just 10 feet away in the tinker closet. So I think this Leatherman Wave Go pack is about to take up permanent residence inside of my car's glove box. I can still grab it out of there and throw it in a bag and take it with me in another vehicle if I want, but I think having the Wave always available in the car is actually going to give me a little bit of peace of mind. I do have a bug out bag and an emergency bag, whatever you want to call it. There may be a place for a multi-tool Go pack or something like that in there as well. I always thought a Leatherman Signal would work really well in a bug out bag, so that might be a kit that I build for the future, but I'll be on the lookout for one of those at the Texas State Surplus Store. Hey, that's the Leatherman Wave Go pack. Thanks for tuning in, Pocket Theory. Until next time, think outside the box, be creative with your gear, and have fun with your EDC. This is Suds with Pocket Theory. Carry what you want.